Alrighty guys, I think it's been kind of a while since I've had a nice Transformers mini review, and I have something great to talk about today, so let's hop in. The figure in question today may be the single most controversial figure I've ever reviewed. The specific figure in question today, though, is another figure from our great friends over at ThreeZero, being the new Siege Deluxe Optimus Prime. And I say that this is such a controversial figure because a lot of people are making fun of even the idea of this toy. And if you're wondering why, well, in short, it is a non-transforming high-end collectible that is based off of a TV show, which is based off of a transformable toy, which is based off of the original G1 cartoon, which is based off of the original G1 toy. So, now I know if you're watching this and you think this is a stupid idea, there's probably nothing I can say to change your mind, but I have to be honest and say, if you really want to know if it's truly good or not and you're truly curious, just look at the writings on the wall, because if you look at virtually anybody who has ever gotten this figure in hand, all of their doubts go away, and this is constantly praised from everyone who's reviewed him. Let's talk about the accessories, because it does have a few of them here and there. For starters, it does have his cartoon accurate axe. He of course does also come with his classic Optimus Prime rifle, which, like everything else here, is really nicely painted. Now let's go ahead and talk about the variety of different hands this guy comes with, because they are non-posable hands and they are made of soft, pliable plastic, meaning that there's just a variety of them so that you can strike them in different poses if you'd like. For now, let's talk about what makes this guy rock. First off, this guy is really impressively heavy, and I mean even more so than I expected. It makes it so the second you pull him out of the package, you feel like you spent your money in good places and that it's actually worth the quality that you spent it on. Also, his paint is of course amazing. I mean, it's ThreeZero, so saying that's kind of like saying the Pope is Catholic. The paint here is actually so accurate, it doesn't just improve over the original toy. Yeah, this thing actually looks better than the original cartoon he's based off of, which is really saying something because that was an animation model. Also, of course, his articulation is phenomenal. Now, this was mainly my selling point with this guy, because anything could look as cool as anything else in the world, but what I'm gonna spend money on for a non-transforming figure is the paint applications and the enhanced articulation. And this guy absolutely excels. And when I say excels, I mean I can't think of a whole lot of points of articulation that I would like him to have that he doesn't already have. I have a standard test that I kind of have in my head that determines whether Transformers have high amounts of articulations, and is basically if he's able to do the kneeling pose. And by the kneeling pose, I mean that pose where somebody has one foot on the ground and one knee on the ground and they're kind of bending down to somebody. For me, it is one standard pose that quickly tells me if he has the right amount of knee articulation, thigh articulation, waist rotation, ab crunch, shoulder rocker, and hand articulation. And as you can see here, he does it beautifully, which basically tells me that he has all the articulation I'm ever gonna want. But let's be honest, ThreeZero is really worshipped and praised in the Transformers community. Everyone who gets a hold of them will just die by their name. And I gotta say, they're not perfect. They deserve the same criticism that everyone else has. And this figure does have some serious flaws that I need to talk about. He has a cool feature where his head and chest is able to light up. The problem is they decided for no good reason to put the switch down with the battery set where you have to remove the head. Now, in order to do that, you actually have to grab a little screwdriver and take the screw out in order to pull that out. Although I'll admit this is the least of my concerns, mainly because I just leave the screw out, and the head cavity still does magnet into the chest cavity, so it doesn't pop off easily, and I can just leave the screw out comfortably. My next problem, which is a much more severe one, is the hands, which I mentioned earlier. They're not good. They're just not good hands. They're soft, pliable plastic. The problem is, first off, that he doesn't hold them very tightly and they're a little flimsy. But to be honest, the main issue I take with these soft, pliable hands, it's the fact that the ball joint that connects the hand to the arm is very tight, meaning that anytime I try to remove or place a new hand on, it actually requires me to basically grip the hand so hard that by the time I finally pop it on, it is totally warped. Let's talk about the last problem I have, and that is that his right shoulder is stupid loose. I don't even know why. ThreeZero is well known for having nice tight joints with great tolerances, and for some reason my copy has a stupid loose right shoulder joint. Other than that, I gotta be honest, that's all my complaints, and even though some of them are significant complaints, trust me, I've had way worse, and this figure overall is a joy to handle. At the end of the day, I gotta give this figure a straight 8 out of 10. He's a great follow-up in my collection to the ThreeZero The Last Night Megatron that I had. Anyways, that's my review for today. Let me know in the comments what you guys think about this figure and if you've considered ever getting it. Other than that, I'll see you guys soon. Later, guys.